Hello my friends, welcome to another video. Today the sun is shining into the living room so beautifully and it makes me so happy. But today I'm going to show you another what I eat in a week. Usually when I do these I cook for 2 people since Johannes and I, my boyfriend, we do live together. But this week Johannes isn't here, so I'll be cooking for 1 person, and sometimes that can be a little bit of struggle, I feel like. So today I wanted to show you how I would cook for 1 person. So he's gone for 5 days, so I'll show you 5 days worth of meals. I'm not going to show breakfast though. I usually don't show breakfast in these types of videos just because my breakfast is the same every single day. It's just porridge with oats and chia seeds and flax seeds and banana and just some water or some plant-based milk. So I hope you enjoy and get some meal inspirations. My goal is always to be time efficient, healthy, and of course plant-based. So let's get on to cooking. The first dish we're going to make is a oven roasted veggies with a Mediterranean salad. So we're going to start by cutting up the veggies with the sweet bell pepper into bite-sized pieces, and then also the sweet potato. Just cut them up either into halves or I'm cutting it into quarters just so it cooks faster. Then I'm adding some carrots, some cherry tomatoes, and we're going to be roasting all of this. So just drizzling on some olive oil, adding some paprika spice, and then some oregano. You can really add any spices that you like. Mix everything up, make sure it's nice and coated. And here I actually went ahead to prep dinner already. So I'm just cutting up some pumpkin, some kale, and massaging the kale with some olive oil and salt. Since I was already turning on the oven, I wanted to save time and energy and to prep 2 meals at once. Then when everything is done roasting, plate everything up. I also added some crunchy salad greens on top. Added some cooked chickpeas on top. Add salt and pepper and also some nutritional yeast for that cheesiness. And that's it for lunch today. I'm so excited for this lunch. I originally wanted to do like a tahini creamy dressing, but I feel like it's so much that the tahini dressing would just be too rich that I wouldn't be able to finish it all, so I just decided to go with a light dressing. The balsamic vinegar, and this is so good. I love a plate that is voluminous and there's so much on it in all the different colors, and it's refreshing, but at the same time the roasted veggies are comforting. So chef's kiss. Nextly, I'm having pumpkin pasta with roasted kale for dinner. So it's already dark out. It's crazy how fast it gets dark during the colder months, but I'm already cooking the pasta for dinner. And luckily, I'm so glad that I prepared part of dinner this afternoon, because I came back from work pretty early, pretty late. It's now 7. So I don't have much left to do. Cut the onions, cut the garlic. My brain isn't working anymore. Also, I'm going to make a normal portion, as I would kind of do if Johannes were here, and then save half of it for tomorrow for dinner. So I don't have to cook for dinner tomorrow. So I'm cutting up all the veggies that I need, some onion, some garlic, frying that up in a pot with some olive oil, adding some rosemary, and letting everything become fragrant before adding some soy milk and some mustard, flavoring with salt and pepper, and then adding in the cooked pasta, and basically just mixing everything up with the pumpkin until the sauce thickens, adding some lemon juice and topping it off with the roasted kale and some nutritional yeast. And that's done for dinner tonight. Oh man, this looks like a lot, but maybe it's just luminous with the kale on top. But I lit myself some candles because I want to do a very intentional, super in-depth self-care evening tonight, which I'm really excited for. So why not start the mood at dinner? I mean, you can always light candles when you're eating with yourself. It's kind of like a date with yourself. But I'm very curious as to how this tastes. I completely made it up on the spot. The flavor is so delicious. The kale though, that was once crunchy, is now just very chewy. It's not crunchy anymore, but it's also not soggy, it's just quite chewy. So I don't recommend pre-prepping kale chips or the roasted kale. Definitely do that right before. But otherwise, the taste is really, really good. So I want to try this again, but with good kale next time. But the taste of the kale is still really delicious and it matches so well with the rest. So I definitely want to make this again. Love this rice cooker. This is definitely not sponsored, but it has a heat up function that heats your food up beautifully without using a microwave. So for lunch, we're having yesterday's dinner leftovers. Also, I made so much that I will have another portion left over. I didn't think it would be that much, but I was also so full yesterday. And good thing we have leftovers because I had time to edit a video. I didn't have to stand here and cook. As much as I enjoy cooking, I also really appreciate the extra time that I have. And also I'm already late for work. I have like 4 jobs trying to earn money and I'm late for my cafe job. I think I'm gonna have my lunch in the kitchen because it's such a gloomy, rainy day today and we have a lot of trees and foliage in the front of the living room window. So not much light gets in and I need kind of my light to feel alive and well, and the kitchen just gets so much more light. You see how steamy this is? Perfect for a rainy autumn day, some steamy pumpkin pasta. Nextly, we're making vegan mung bean egg. For dinner, I'm making something I'm really excited about. I've never made this before and it's vegan egg made out of split and peeled mung beans. So you can actually buy them. This is the package here in Germany. They call it mung dal, and basically you can make like vegan egg out of this and even omelets. So usually with vegan egg I use tofu and crumble that up and make scrambled egg with it, but with this, since it's a liquid, you can make omelets out of this. So I'm really excited. So I'm kind of gonna have like a breakfast thing for dinner, which is fine. Yeah, I'm so excited. Cutting up some onion, some cherry tomatoes. So in here I also have leftovers when I roasted the other stuff. So I actually use this in my omelet, and I'm going to cut up the sweet potato. I kind of have to have as a side, kind of like breakfast potatoes. Then I'm frying up these sweet potato to get them nice and golden brown, seasoning with some Mediterranean herbs. And in the meantime, prepping the vegan egg. We have the split mung beans that I've rinsed and soaked overnight, adding that to a food blender or mixer. Then I added some turmeric, some pepper, and some black salt, which gives it that eggy taste. Some olive oil, some soy milk, and then mix everything up until it's nice and smooth. In the meantime, the potatoes are done. Set that aside, and then fry up all the veggies. Adding the egg on top and letting everything cook. I was having a little trouble with the egg since I felt like it wasn't really cooking, but at the same time was kind of sticking and burning on the bottom of the pan. So I tried to cover it with a lid to help it firm up, but yeah, it was just really sticking to the pan, so I decided to, I guess, make scrambled egg out of it. And then that's done with the breakfast for dinner. I also added a little side salad for some extra veggies. But I already snuck a bite because I was so hungry, so I already know this tastes so good, especially the potatoes. I kind of left them in a little too longer than I planned in the pan, and they turn out so good. They're nice and crispy. As for the omelet, it didn't really turn out like an omelet. It turned more into a scrambled omelet. This is so good. I'm more of a sweet breakfast person, so this is so delicious as a dinner. The consistency of the mung egg is a little bit fluffy, so this is, I love this. So much more complex, the flavor, than a traditional egg omelet. So delicious. I want to eat this more often. This is so good. So today I haven't been feeling well. I have a migraine, so yeah, I've been in bed all day. And luckily, I still have that pumpkin kale pasta left since I made so much of it. So that's what I'm eating today for lunch. Hopefully I'm feeling much better by dinner time because I don't have any dinner prepared. So I have to see what I'll make for dinner. Dinner was really made up on the spot. I kind of fried up a few Chinese dishes. So firstly, we have these soy nuts that I soaked in some water to soften, cutting up some garlic and some ginger, and also cutting up a Savoy cabbage. Adding oil to a pan, adding the garlic and then the cabbage. I think this is so underrated and so delicious, frying up some cabbage just with some oil and garlic and just letting that soften a little bit with the lid on. Then I made the soy nuts that I totally forgot to film. So basically you just fry up some garlic and ginger, then add your soy nuts and let them brown a little bit before deglazing with some soy sauce, and also adding a little bit of agave syrup for some sweetness and just letting the sauce reduce a little bit. And that's it. It was so easy, and just pairing that with some rice. And that was my quick and easy on the whim dinner. Nextly, I made some sage ravioli. So I like to make my life more difficult and stressful by cooking unnecessarily fancy and time-consuming food. So for almost like half a year now, I've been wanting to make my own ravioli, and today I just decided today is the day I'm going to embark upon this journey. I'm going to add spinach though and just make it up as I go. So firstly, we're defrosting the spinach, soaking some cashew nuts in some hot water. And then nextly, we're preparing the dough. To the flour, I'm adding some olive oil, some turmeric for color, and some water before mixing everything up and going ahead and kneading our dough until everything is combined. Oh man, the kneading process was so hard. I feel like my neck and my shoulder is really hurting. Yeah, but the interesting thing is I noticed that in the beginning, when I started to make this recipe, you even heard it in my introduction, I was in a rush and kind of stressed, like, oh, I'm gonna make this recipe that needs so much time, so much effort, and I don't have this time, and I kept on thinking about all the other stuff I need to do today, and it stressed me out to do a recipe that was this complicated, you could say. But I noticed when I started kneading the dough that I really became so much more calm and was really truly present with kneading the dough. I kind of forgot about all the stuff I have to do. I forgot about what time it was, and I kind of started romanticizing my life, like, oh, I'm making pasta. I don't know, but it really calmed me down. So that's the beauty of baking and cooking. I feel like sometimes if you truly arrive in the moment, no matter how much or little time you have, and focus on what you're doing. Cooking can be a source of therapy, as you've witnessed today. Nextly, we're adding some oil to the pan and frying up some garlic and sage to make this fragrant garlic sage oil. Then adding some firm tofu to a food processor, adding a lot of nutritional yeast, miso paste, soaked cashews, skin of a lemon, adding the lemon juice as well, adding our defrosted spinach, and mixing everything up together with the garlic sage oil. Look at this consistency. This is so perfect. Not too wet, but nice and sticky, perfect for a filling. And I've already had it taste so good. The nutritional yeast and the miso paste gives it so much umami flavor. Then moving on to the dough, we're rolling everything out nice and thin, working portion by portion. And when everything is nice and thin, we're cutting it up into squares. And then just adding a dollop of the filling in the middle and folding it up, basically just meeting up the corner and then pressing it down with a fork to give that really cute ruffled edge, but also just closes up the dough nicely. And then just continue on with all of your dough and all of your filling. When you're done making your ravioli, it's time to fry up some sage and some garlic and adding a dash of salt. And when everything has become fragrant, add your ravioli. And when the ravioli is golden on the bottom, add your water and cover with a lid and let that cook until the water is completely evaporated and you're done with your creamy sage ravioli. I am so excited. Guys, this looks so good. This looks like heaven. And it smells so delicious the whole time while this was cooking. I was kind of flipping out, but also because I'm so hungry. Yeah, so I'm just gonna dig in. Oh my god, this is the best ravioli I've ever had. Not kidding. Whether store-bought or restaurant, I've never had ravioli this good. I'm so impressed. I'm so proud of myself. This is the first time making this, and it was so easy. I thought it would take me so much longer, but it took me about 1.5 hours to make these from start to finish. And they're so flavorful. I didn't think they would be. I love the filling. I love the sage. This is literally the best meal I've had this year. He's gonna be so jealous. But I made enough though, so that I can show him these as well. This is so good! As a dessert, I'm going to have a pear. Nextly, I made some oven roasted veggies with tempeh. To be honest, I really didn't feel like cooking this day, so I decided to just chop up all the veggies that I have in my fridge. So some German radish, some Israel sunflowers, some Israel's potatoes, something like that. And then cutting up the tempeh as well, and basically just roasting everything in the oven. It's so easy, and I like to do this a lot when I don't feel like cooking. I also added some sweet potato, drizzling everything with oil, seasoning with some garlic, salt and peppers, paprika. Make sure everything is evenly coated and roast that in the oven until done. Also decided to add some kale, massaging that with some olive oil and salt. And also adding that. I decided to season the tempeh with some tonkatsu sauce that we had. It's basically just a sweet and savory Japanese sauce. And then roasting that along with the rest. And when everything is done, your meal is done. So it's so easy and so simple. And also really nice for fall weather. Then for dinner, I decided to make some vegan pumpkin carbonara. This one tasted so authentic. So firstly, you want to cut up your pumpkin into small cubes and cook that in a pot with some water until the pumpkin softens. Then I'm cutting up some smoked tofu as kind of like a bacon substitute, since it also has that smoky flavor, and fry that up in a pan until it's golden brown and crispy. When the pumpkin is done, you want to puree everything and then add some black salt, again for that eggy taste. And also I added some tapioca starch just so everything binds together, adding the cooked pasta to the sauce. And this really did taste really eggy, like traditional carbonara. Plating that up and adding the tofu on top and topping off with some parsley. This dish really impressed me. I didn't think it would be this good, but yeah, it was really delicious. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and got some meal inspiration. Let me know in the comments down below which one looked the best in your opinion. And yeah, share this video with your friends and family who need meal inspiration. Give it a like, that really helps me out. And if you want to see more of me and my channel, then be sure to subscribe. I do a lot on minimalism. I have so many other meal inspiration videos and also recipe videos. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you hopefully in my next video. Bye.